Welcome back. This is From the Bunker. I'm your host, Slim Weaver. Today we are here with Brooks Herring. Brooks, why don't you go give a little background on the military to start off with and tell people where you came from?
Yeah, my name's Brooks Herring. I grew up in small town South Carolina. Joined the Navy straight out of high school. I was on active duty for 6 years. Deployed to Iraq and Africa. Left the Navy and struggled to find purpose, and so I decided to go work for the Army as a civilian. And spent 2 years in Afghanistan working for the Army as a civilian. Then came back to the States, and it's been a long time on that same windy road, searching for purpose, looking for a new mission, and finally found my way to music. I'm now a full-time musician. I'm a singer-songwriter, Nashville, Tennessee, recording artist and doing all the things.
What'd you do in the Navy?
I was a gunner's mate. I was a weapons specialist. So I was a small arms marksmanship instructor, cruiser weapons instructor, special warfare armor. When I left, I had like 8 or 9 different NECs. This was during the time when we were doing a lot of the individual augmentation, basically pulling sailors from the Navy and putting them on loan to the Army. So I got to fill a lot of different roles when I was in. Got to go to a lot of different units for the short time that I was on active duty. So it was a lot of fun.
Were you on a ship most of the time, or you kind of get pieced out to different countries?
No, most Marines have more ship time than I do. I spent 3 months on the USS Baton during Hurricane Katrina, and then spent some time on that ship, here and there. But all of my deployments were on the ground. So Iraq, Africa, Afghanistan, all those were on the ground. So I got to spend a little bit of time on the ship, enough to kind of know my way around the ship. But it was only one ship, and it wasn't for very long.
I've been on a ship, so I have no idea. I also don't know what a gunner's mate is.
It's a weapons specialist. So you were Army, right?
Yeah, infantry, yeah.
Yeah. So as a 9536, I was not an operator at all. But I was somewhere between an 18 Bravo and a 91 Fox. So I was like,
Okay.
I was able to do 30 level maintenance. I worked for Special Warfare, worked on all their weapons systems and everything. But I was not an operator. So I was like a little bit further than the 20 level that you get from a 91 Fox, but not operator status.
Okay, that makes sense to me. All right. I don't think I've ever had a Navy guy in here before, so I was like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, fortunately, like I said, I deployed with the Marines, I deployed with the Army, I deployed, with the Navy, and it's like, so I've worked with so many different branches. It's like I know how to explain what I do to other branches, and I have a pretty firm grip on what other branches do, and different MOSs and whatnot.
So you finished up the Navy, and you said you did 2 years as a contractor for the Army. What'd you do in
Yeah.
Afghanistan?
Same thing. I was a weapons specialist. I was responsible.
Okay.
At one point in time, I was responsible for almost all of the weapons in RC North. I had a home base at FOB Kunduz in RC North. And so if you know where Bagram is, and you know where Mazar-e Sharif is, you draw a line straight up from Bagram and straight over from Mez, and you'd run smack dab into Kunduz. And that's where I lived and had my armory. And at least once or twice a week, I would be on a helicopter going to a smaller FOB or JCOP or something. I would inspect all of their weapons and fill out, put together work orders and parts orders and everything else, and like submit everything to their chain of command. They would order parts and everything. I would fix any weapons that I could with the parts that I had. And then I would head back to Kunduz and I would work on weapons there. And then whenever that unit at whatever FOB or JCOP got their parts in, they would hit me up and I would fly back out and work on their weapons there. So spent a lot of time in a helicopter, a lot of time flying around Afghanistan, which was really cool. Spent 19 months at FOB Kunduz, and then 3 months at FOB Sharana over in the Dust Bowl before I came back to the States.
Where's Sharana at? Never heard of that.
Tirana is RC East, but it's like southeast. So
Okay.
it's like east of Kandahar. It's
Shit. Okay. Yeah.
I went from like the Hindu Kush to the sandbox. It
You
sucked.
ever
It was
you ever go to
terrible.
Camp Alpha in Bagram?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was.
Yeah,
I was over there.
I tried to I tried to stay if I was going through Bagram, I tried to make it as quick as possible.
Yeah.
I hated being near the flagpole. So like
Yeah.
if I was, you know, going through Bagram, I was like I would want to like land, figure out, take a plane that was landing at like 10 a.m. and something that was leaving at like 12.
Yeah. Until it gets mortared or rocketed, and then you got to sit there
Yeah.
for like 6 hours. Yeah.
That's
I
what happens
hated.
when you
Well,
that's what happens when you put a base in the middle of a
yeah,
bowl.
dude.
You know?
Yeah, I thought about that a lot. I was so obviously Alpha, for people who don't know, is on like the northwest side of Bagram. Bagram's fucking huge. Like you can drive around for a half hour and not see the other side of it. Like there's Disney side and there's Warrior side. Warrior side's where the army, like conventional army was, and then Disney side's where like everybody else was. And I was on Disney side. And but the air base was like in the middle. So like depending on the time of day, man, like you could land there, you could catch like one rocket, the base would shut down for like 30 minutes. Or if you got in a wrong day and get rocketed for like 45 minutes and then you're stuck somewhere in a bunker for like 6 hours. And,
If it's
you know,
Christmas time and they're just trying to
yeah,
wreak
dude.
havoc just because they know it's Christmas time and we're all trying to relax.
Yeah, dude. Like, oh, Bagram was wild. When were you there?
2011 through 2013. So
Okay.
August
Yeah.
2011 through June 2013.
Yeah. I was on the tail end in 1920 when ISIS was busy fighting the Taliban and vice versa. So it was also fucking wild.
We had a base up in the north called Killagai, and it was like a mini Bagram. It was an even smaller bowl, and it was even easier to hit. Of all people, it was the German KSK that like established this base. Like I was like, you guys of all people, like
Yeah.
you know better.
Yeah, you also watched us fail at this for the last 20 years, so Oh, I miss Bagram, man, like, I miss Afghanistan, like, compared to Syria and Iraq. I think Afghanistan was, like, the best, but,
But yeah,
I
Iraq
mean, you
sucked compared to
but,
Afghanistan,
yeah,
that's for
Iraq was
sure.
terrible, yeah. Heat, but so you were an armor in contracting, and then you came home, so what'd you do when you were kinda bopping around home?
Then when I came home, is like I was looking for more contracts. I was looking for more work, because I couldn't let go of that. This is who I am. This is my mission. This is what I'm meant to do, kind of thing. And I couldn't let go of that. So I was just, I was looking for more contract work. I actually opened a restaurant with my dad in South Carolina. It was a barbecue restaurant. My dad is incredible, incredible cook, the best brisket in the world, hands down. Um, but I mean, I had plenty of money and a perfect credit score from being in Afghanistan for 2 years, and so I was like, yeah, sure, I'll help you, get this thing going. I never intended to like really be in the kitchen because that's not what I do. Um, but I wanted to at least like get it started for him. And after 2.5 years, I was in there 18 hours a day with him in the
Damn,
kitchen,
yeah.
cooking and running the plate. And I was just like, man, this is not this is not what I'm looking for.
Dude,
Like this is
kitchen work
not.
sucks, man. Kitchen work is tough, man. It's hot. It's like the prep, the being there so early to get everything ready and being there late to
But yeah,
close everything up.
we made like traditional slow cooks, like smoked barbecue,
God, yeah.
like everything was, we had to hand feed the fire, choke it, stoke it, like check the temperature. Everything was old school. And so, I
So do you
mean,
like
before,
do you like set it up at night to like smoke overnight and then come in
yeah.
early in the morning? Oh yeah, Jesus, man. That's a lot of work,
No, I mean,
dude.
like if somebody had to stay there with it, like if we like
Oh
the night
shit.
before a game day, like, cause it was right next to Williams-Brice Stadium in Columbia. The nights before game days, we would literally sleep in the restaurant so that
God.
we could continue just rolling smoke the whole night. It was, it was terrible.
Is it
Um,
still exist?
no, 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 no. I mean, I had to get out of there, and um, my dad he still cooks and everything, but like as far as like dad operation, yeah, there came a point where I was just like, this is not where I want to be. This is not what I want to do. And my brother, who's retired Army, um, he was up my ass about going to school. using VA benefits. He's like, man, you got to go to school. Like you did well in high school. You got to go to school. And I was like, man, I'm 28 at the time. I think I was like 28, 27, 28 years old at the time. I was like, bro, I'm old. Like I need to work. I got to provide for my family. Like I got to figure out all these different things. Like, I don't have time to go to school. And he's like, you need to go to school. He's like, the VA will help you out. You give you a paycheck. You just got to make good grades and all this other kind of stuff. Eventually, I went to the VA just to like, because he was on me about it. So like to kind almost to kind of appease him, I went to the VA and I was like, hey, my brother says that y'all can send me to school, and they're like, yeah, we want to go to school for. And I was just like, I don't know. Like, I mean, my whole adult life has been, here's the mission, execute it. Here's the mission, execute it. And now I was being asked what the mission was, and I didn't know. Um, so they gave me a bunch of aptitude tests and um, personality tests and all this kind of stuff. And it was like, you work well with people. You should be on the postdoctorate level and in the medical field. And I was just like, what? I blow shit up. I don't understand. I don't understand what you want. But I spent some time just kind of thinking on it and praying about it. And I decided that I wanted to go to school to be a physical therapist because I wanted to work with combat trauma. I never felt like I gave enough. I never felt like I did enough. I never felt like, I was always looking. I volunteered for every deployment I could, and just I wanted to be over there every chance I could because I never felt like I did enough. And I feel like part of that kind of motivated me to. I was like, I want to work with combat trauma because I owe it to them to do more. So I went to the University of South Carolina right there in Columbia. I got a bachelor's in exercise science and then a doctorate in physical therapy, and then became a full time musician.
God, you a doctor. Damn, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's
you so when was this, I mean, assuming it's probably been a while, but when was the music kind of, like, coming into your life? Was that, like, during the military service, before, after? Like, when did that become, like, a big part of what you're doing?
all the above. Like so, music has always been a part of my life. Like I started playing the trumpet in the sixth grade. I started playing drums in the seventh grade. I started playing guitar at 14. I started writing songs at 14. Um, and that was always a hobby because I never understood. I didn't grow up. Nobody in my family was in the music industry. I didn't grow up around it. I didn't know anything about it. It's not taught in school. Like I just something that I did as a hobby. Um, when I deployed to Iraq in '06, I mailed myself a guitar.
I knew you were the
And
guitar guy. I knew it. I was like,
yeah,
"There's always
oh
one, it's
yeah,
him."
dude. I would sit in a bunker and I would learn chords and cover songs, whatever else. And whenever any of us had some time off, we'd go to a little circle where the PX and the green bean was, and sit on one of the picnic tables and jam out a little bit. I just this was kind of like it was a hobby. It was something cool to do. And then when I went to Africa, same thing. I sent myself that same guitar. And actually, while I was in Africa, the bass chaplain came up to me with a guitar in a hard case. It was an acoustic guitar, had no strings, no pegs. One of the tuning keys was broken. And he was like, Gunner, I can't do anything with this. Do you want it? I was like, yeah, chaps, I'll figure it out, whatever. Not thinking anything of it. And I went to the armory and I fixed the tuning key and I ordered pegs and strings and strung it up. I will be playing that guitar later today on Broadway here in Nashville. I play the guitar every single day ever and thousands of songs on it. I got it professionally set up and upgraded and got the electronics installed in it and everything. It's just that guitar has just got so much
Yeah.
character and it just sounds amazing. But I did that in Africa, and when I was in Afghanistan, same thing. That same guitar. I started recording like YouTube videos and putting them up, and got some good feedback. It ended up on AFN radio in Bagram when I was passing through one time,
No
just like
shit,
playing
dude.
some songs. Yeah, um,
Back when AFN was cool. AFN
yeah,
turned out
yeah. I
not
know.
so
I did a
cool.
I did a parody. I wrote a parody of Middle Eastern or Margaritaville by Jimmy Buffett. It's called Middle
Yeah.
Easternville.
Can I find it? Where's it at?
Oh yeah, it's on Spotify. I released it. Yeah, it's on Spotify. It's funny because I drop an F bomb in there. My mom like monitors all my new music, whatever. Anytime I release a song, my mom's on it. And then, so I released that song and she listened to it. She was like, Brooks, you got to warn me when there's foul language.
Oh,
It was just
what
called
is it?
Middle Easternville.
Middle Easternville.
Yeah.
I'm writing it down.
But I mean, it was just always a fun thing. You know, it wasn't, when I owned the restaurant, I would play in the restaurant sometimes. And it wasn't until the summer between undergrad and grad school. So it was the summer of 2018. I finished my undergrad that May. And, um, you know, with the GI Bill, you don't get paid if you're not in classes. So, like, I finished in May. I wasn't starting again until August. And so I needed a job for the summer. I was like, well, I'm not going to spend a month looking for a job that I'm going to quit a month later. So I was like, let me just see if I, if I can. I knew some people that were playing gigs, and I had been playing drums for this guy that played country music around South Carolina. I was like, let me just give it a shot. And by the end of that summer, I was playing 6, 7 shows a week and making great money. And that's where it was like, bing, I can do this. Like, for me at that point, it was more like I can play cover gigs in bars and I can get a free bar tab and have fun and make great money. I was like, this is an actual job. I can do this. And so while I was in PT school, I continued on into PT school and I kind of laid the foundation, started a website, started the social media stuff, like started really digging in and kind of like exploring the music industry and like what it meant to like write and record and all that kind of stuff, my own music. And then in March of 2020, I got to come to Nashville for the first time because of a program called Creative Vets. It's creativets.org. Creativevets.org is the website. We bring combat veterans to Nashville and to our partner locations across the country, pair them up with songwriters and mentors, and give them an opportunity to tell their story through a song. And like going through the Creative Vets program, like I was immersed in Nashville for a full week. So like I went from knowing absolutely nothing about the music industry to just being waterboarded by it. Just like I went to a writers round. I went to the studio. I did a co-write with hit songwriters. I went to the Grand Ole Opry. I was backstage with Trace Adkins and Dierks Bentley. And it was just like I was just like full on Nashville songwriter for a week. And it changed my life. That's when I knew like this is where I'm supposed to be. Like this is it. This is the mission. Like this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to do. So, like I said, I finished my doctorate in December 21. Um, January of 22, I went full time as a musician. I was practicing as a physical therapist in South Carolina part time, but really like giving my focus to music. And summer of 2022, I got a call from the VA. And this guy was like, hey, just calling from the VRE office, just wanted to see how PT was going because they paid for it. And I was just like, I mean, it's going good, when I'm there and I'm practicing part time, but my heart is with music. My passion is with music. And this is what I want to do. He didn't skip a beat. He was like, well, you still got 36 months of chapter 33 eligibility. If you want to go back to school for music, you can. And I was like, there's no way. Like, I just went to school for 7 years. Like, there's no way y'all are just going to pay for another. He was like, yeah, different pocket. Chapter 31, chapter 33, different pocket. So now my wheels are turning. And um, so I started looking at South Carolina because that's my alma mater. So I started looking at their music industry studies program, really started digging in on what I can do with this opportunity. And, you know, whatever you believe in, you can call it, divine intervention. You can call it, God speaking. You can call it intuition, whatever you want to call it, conscience. There was something inside of me that said, do your due diligence, look around. Look around. And I started just looking for music business programs and songwriting programs and music programs and everything else. And consistently at the top of the list was Belmont University in Nashville. And I was like, man, go to school for music in Music City. And I just couldn't. I'd been in Columbia for 10 years and uh, was on the board for several nonprofit, a bunch of veteran nonprofit organizations there, and was very involved in Student Veterans Association, the Veterans Alumni Council, Department of Veterans Affairs, just like a lot of stuff in Columbia. I was really tied to the community, and I just had a hard time leaving. But I remember it was that summer I was playing some shows in Myrtle Beach, And I was on the phone with a buddy of mine, BJ Craven, who's a talent buyer in Myrtle Beach. I was kind of explaining the situation to him to kind of get an outsider's opinion. He was like, wait, let me get this straight. The VA is going to pay you to move to Nashville and study music in Nashville while you play music in Nashville. And I was like, yeah, yeah, pretty much. He's like, Brooks, what's the fucking question here? And so I did all the same things that I did back in 2014. I applied to school. I got accepted to Belmont and moved here in January 23, started classes, immediately started working with Creative Vets as a writer and a mentor. Um, I can't say enough about that program. They've got so many incredible things like just art, using art for healing is the mission there. And it's not necessarily just songwriting. They've got sewing classes, acting classes. There's guitar classes separate from songwriting. There's painting, stained glass. There's just computer design. There's 3D printing. They do like any type of art you can imagine. If it helps, if it helps you take what's in your mind and like put it, into something else and kind of help get it out there, then they've probably thought about it. So I got here and started working with Guitars for Vets, Musicians on Call, Operation Song, Operation Encore. Just like there's just so many awesome, you know, organizations out here. They just like kind of like bring music and veterans together, and that's I think that's ultimately when I decided I wanted to be a physical therapist is because I wanted to help other veterans heal. And I got stuck on the physical side of it, and I was kind of ignoring the music. And yeah, and it just once it all clicked, that this is the type of therapy that I'm meant to be involved in. Like it's just been, man, it's just been head down, since then. Just
Yeah,
been pushing as
facing
hard
the
as I
music.
can. Yeah, just literally, yeah, facing it, making it.
Yeah, I did. I was waiting to make that joke the whole time, but well, that's awesome, man. I've never heard of Creative Vets before, but I mean, with what we're building, we want to put obviously every resource into it, along with like the how-to guide. Also, we don't just want to put links on like a fucking page and then just expect vets to like have to
Right.
sort through all these links, right? So we want like eventually to bring in people like yourself to be like, hey, like these are the resources if you're into creativity, if you're into music, if you're into art. So I mean that's fantastic to hear about, dude. I haven't heard of any of those, but I also don't know anyone else in music. So
Yeah, there's a lot of programs out here. I learned. Oh, Memories of Honor is another one. I just recently through Memories of Honor, a I wrote a song with a Gold Star father for his son. So it was like a co-write, and they do that. They arrange co-writes between Gold Star families and professional songwriters to um, memorialize their loved one in a song. And so that was super cool, very emotional. But that was really cool. And then Guitars for Vets is another great one. Operation Song is another great one. Operation Encore. I just came back from Camp Southern Ground in Georgia, Zach Brown's place. Um, he teams up with Operation Encore and puts on Warrior Song out there, and that's an incredible program for veteran artists and veteran songwriters. A lot of cool stuff going on.
yeah, I'm gonna need to pick your brain offline about that, dude. Like,
Yeah,
because getting all these resources together is a massive undertaking. But I want to real quick go back to something you said before. You said you got out of the military and you kind of went back into contracting, but you kind of had this feeling that you hadn't been finished, like you didn't do enough. And I think that's a tough hurdle, man. Like that's something like I think every vet, especially anybody who's been deployed, kind of has this weird feeling like no matter what they do, no matter where they've been, no matter how they serve, they just feel like it's not enough. So did you get any closure with what you're doing now? Do you feel like finally maybe you can settle into being in Nashville and doing all this vet work and this is enough?
I feel like I've settled into what I'm doing, and I'm kind of like putting my head down and doing it as hard as I can. But no, the short answer is no. Like I still don't feel like I did enough. I don't know that I'll ever be able to just lose that feeling. Um, just when you have friends that, lose limbs and friends that make the ultimate sacrifice and friends that, lose their life at their own hand, after coming back, like there's, so long as I'm here and able bodied, like I'll never feel like I did as much as they did. And it's just, I feel like I've found a way to, instead of internalizing that and making that be trauma, I've found a way to use that as motivation. That motivates me every day to continue to serve, to continue to give, because I can never give as much as they gave. And so all I can do is continue to try, you know. So I mean, I would go back. I would go back today. I would go back in a heartbeat if something were to happen right now, and they were to call me and be like, hey, we need you back. Like, all right, here I come. Care what you
Yeah.
wish for.
It's a tough one, man. It really is. I think about it a lot, and it's like I said, it's one of those hurdles that we're kinda working for, um, like, on our side of things. We think that, bringing vets who have similar experiences together who can kinda talk about it, kinda like you and I are, is one of the most powerful ways to get over, like, a feeling like that. And obviously the other one is like what you're doing is finding something that you really enjoy that can help other vets and help, you know, find those answers for themselves is really something that is needed right now, especially with suicide rates going up. Vets are homeless at an alarming rate, and um, the government's too worried about being set on fire to really care. So, but yeah, it sucks out there, but that's a great way to look at it. Do what you can. Don't worry about what you can't control. Well, so you're in Nashville. Do you have a favorite spot? I'm a huge Nashville fan.
I get asked this question a lot, and it's I have a few favorites. I mean, it really depends on like what vibe you're looking for, because like if you're talking
Well,
about
let's
like
say for you to play at. Do you have a favorite venue?
I'm gonna have to say my favorite venue is Doc Holliday's. Tiny little dive bar on Second Avenue, one of the older ones. Been there a long time. It's not big, it's not flashy, it's not fancy, it doesn't have any country star's name on it or whatever, but it's just I know everybody there. I've been playing there since I moved here. And there's not a stage. You walk in the door and there we are right there, kind of eye level. I have people come up and just like walk around the microphone and whisper requests in my ear while I'm playing another song. Like, is it just, I like being on a big stage and having big crowds, but I still love like the intimate settings where,
Yeah, it's
you can
comfortable.
just,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I love playing at Garth's, the stage and the green room and just everything that Garth's is very well set up, as far as like the venue goes, like the equipment and how that, what we have there to work with, and the engineers are awesome. I love jelly rolls. Um, I,
I haven't been
have a
there.
lot of,
I'm a Printer's Alley fan though.
oh yeah, God, bourbon blues. Come on. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't play like those cats, but if I could, I would love to play at Bourbon Blues. And then, Skulls is one of my favorite places to go to. Um, yeah, if we're talking about places like I like to go, yeah, I love Prayers Alley. I was just talking about, I was thinking in terms of places where I play, but yeah, Printers is cool.
Yeah, not as huge like venues over there. What is that? What garage bar? Like I don't even know if they have live music there, but like that's just a cool place to go. It's in like a
Yeah,
literal parking garage. It's a cool place.
yeah,
I love
yeah.
Tennessee, man. It's great. And me and my buddies, you know, Fort Campbell. So like everybody from Fort Campbell's like, oh yeah, we're going to Tennessee this weekend. Gonna go Nashville, blah blah blah.
And
But
it's a whole hour away.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's dangerous, but yeah. All right. So
Yeah,
what's next? Do you have any big plans coming up?
yeah. So I'm actually graduating from Belmont on Friday. So in 3 days, I
Oh,
graduate with another
congratulations.
degree. Um, and I have signed with a label, and we're going to be in the studio starting on Sunday. Um, so we're recording a 6 song album in the studio, starting on Sunday, and then I'll be traveling for the holidays, just kind of like spending time with friends and family, hanging out with my son. I'm a lifetime Saints fan. We suck really bad this year, but we're playing the Titans on the 28th. And my best friend here in Nashville, he's got season tickets. So me and him and my son, my 14-year-old son who plays football as well, we're gonna go see watch the Saints and the Titans battle for who can lose to get the better draft pick. It's yeah, I mean, yeah, big stuff is just like I said, we're recording a 6 song album that's gonna be coming out next year. We're probably starting a radio tour in February. And that album should be coming out in about March. Really excited to see what I'm able to do, with the power of a label behind me. And
Are they all
just
originals? Are you doing any covers in there?
they're all originals. No, I have not released any covers. I've done a couple of parodies, but no covers. So I did Middle Easternville, which was a parody of Margaritaville. I also did Have Yourself a Bucky's Little Christmas, which is a parody of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. For all my Bucky's fans out there, Buck baby, I love Bucky's.
So does everyone
Um,
in the military.
yeah, dude, it's so good. It's
We don't
it's a must.
we're not I'm in Michigan, man. We're not a Bucky state, really. There's maybe
You don't have a Bucky's yet. They're still expanding north
yeah,
from
I don't
Texas. Like they,
thought what do we have? Something super similar, but it's just not the same. It's like a Walmart version of Bucky's. I can't remember. But yeah, no.
they're like
Uh,
Wawa or Sheets or
Sheets, yes,
Sheets. Yeah,
Sheets.
Sheets.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's a Pennsylvania thing. That's from
Yeah,
Pennsylvania.
but they ain't bad. It's not just not the
No, oh
same.
no, no. You get that what is it? The Schmonster breakfast burrito. Hmm.
But I mean, Bucky's got like you walk in there, they got merch, they got apparel, they got
They've
like
got
their whole
everything.
line. Yeah, it's
Laundry detergent,
yeah,
and all the laundry and designer sunglasses and burritos and
yeah.
drinks and trail mix, stuffed animals. It's wild. It's ridiculous how much stuff they have in there. Like, I don't think I've ever actually shopped at entire Bucky's. I just love the food and the hot sauce as well. The sweet and spicy, the ghost pepper sweet and spicy. That's my
Oof,
go-to.
that's too much for me, dude. I'm a little northern boy. I'm sometimes ketchup gets me, dude.
Oh damn. No, yeah, I was raised on cayenne pepper. That's,
Oof. Well, yeah, I believe it. Saints fan. So.
yeah.
So we always ask one question at the end of our episodes. So if you had any advice to give to like an up and coming leader, a new soldier, new sailor, new Marine, new airman, one piece of advice that you think will help them in their career going forward, what would that one piece of advice be?
Be a servant leader. Be a servant leader. If you always have your heart set on service, you will not lead anyone in the wrong direction. So just show up every day ready to be a servant leader, like ready to serve not just your country, but the men and women around you, the people on your left and the people on your right that are looking out for you. And continue that when you leave the military, servant leadership. That's all I hope my legacy is going to be, is a legacy of servant leadership.
Hell yeah. That's my favorite part of the show. Like, we always get something different. You always think someone's gonna say the same thing, but it's always different. I love that. Or like, and we never get anything bad. Everyone has a really good one. Like, I jinxed it probably now. The next one's probably gonna suck, but
Don't do drugs.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Dare to do drugs. Yeah, yeah fuck you, dude. Well, I was talking to one of my buddies last night, and we were kind of having that same conversation. So I was in the same company for 13 years, the same infantry company, and I just transferred. I got promoted out of the company. So like bittersweet, next stage, taking the E7 step, but like leaving the company where I kind of grew up and know everybody. Um, so it's kind of tough, but I was kind of feeling down about it. But then I got a text last night from a soldier who wasn't there. And he was like, "Hey, sorry, I missed your going away party ceremony thing. You're one of the best leaders I've ever had." And like, just a super nice text. And that was like, dude, that made my day. It made me feel so much better. Like, just getting texts like that from dudes who like you make an impact in. And I think, you know, obviously one of the best feelings in the world is like when you feel like everything you've been trying to do as a leader for like the last decade is finally like, "Yeah, man, you did okay." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, dude. Sweet." Just a little private. Yes.
Yeah. Hey, you'll never know if you're doing it right. Like, you just always questioning yourself, like,
I know.
did I
Yeah.
say the right thing? Did I set the right example? Did I do this right? Did I do that right? And then you see it in someone else. You see it like in the works. You see somebody doing something that you know that you are responsible for, and it's a good thing. You're just like, yes,
Yeah.
we made
And I
it.
know, like, you probably know the same way because, like, I grew up in, like, the mid GWAT, post 9/11 military. Very different world from today. Like, most of the NCOs were extremely angry people, very mean people. Like, there was no such thing as servant leadership. It was like you got smoked all the time. And I just, growing up in the military, I was like, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the one that my soldiers hate. I want them to trust me, and I want them to respect the decisions if I make them in a situation where they need to. And the only way you could do that is trust and, building good decision making. And I think, you know, that was my piece of advice to my soldiers was know your job well enough to make good decisions so that your soldiers can trust you. And, you'll get through everything.
Yeah. Know the job ahead of you, know the job below you. Like, know the job beside you. Like, no, don't just know like what
Yeah.
you're supposed to be doing, but how it affects the left and the right and the front and the back and the up and the down, and how what they're doing can affect you. Like, just global view.
Yeah. And now, we have like not enough soldiers everywhere or not enough military members anywhere.
Yeah.
The companies are like half strength. Well, what happened? Because everyone hates the military now. Well, Brooks, it was great talking to you. We had a great time on the show today. Tell the people where they can find you, social
I'm easy to
media,
find, man. It's just brooksherringmusic.com. It's at Brooks Herring Music on all the socials. My veteran brethren, brothers and sisters, like, just feel free to shoot me a message. I'm still I still respond to all my messages myself. So, like, feel free to reach out, and if I can get you hooked up with Creative Vets or Operation Song, Operation Encore, Guitars for Vets, any of those programs, I would love to. So it's just
and
brooksherringmusic.com.
what's your you got your own Spotify or
Yep, it's just under Brooks Herring. Yep.
nice. All right. Well, yeah, go follow Brooks Herring on Spotify and everywhere else. You can also find him on our page. So if you're listening to this, check out bunker-bros.com. We're building the only vet app for vets, by vets, for active duty, by active duty, and help us raise money because we need money to make this app. And I'm poor, just a little soldier. All right. Thanks, Brooks. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Incoming, incoming, incoming.